What's up, everybody? I've got Jamie Gardiner here, 2 Comic Club Award winner. He's fixing to drop some bombs, so I'm super excited to dive into this. Jamie, tell us what you have. Who do you help, and how do you help
Uh,
them?
Carl, thanks so much for having me on, man. I really appreciate it. And how you doing, everyone? If we haven't connected before, my name's Jamie, as Carl very kindly pointed out. Been involved in online marketing since 2011. And basically, long story short, was a very long process to finally find my success. Ended up basically doing some good stuff late 2019. And effectively, what I do now is I show folks how to grow and monetize communities online. So whether that is Facebook groups, where a big chunk of audience is there, or school or whatever. That's pretty much
Yeah,
where I've
school's
kind of
popping off.
it
That
is at
people
the
are going
moment.
crazy over it because that Hermosi
Yeah.
bought it. Yeah, now it's a popular platform.
Yeah, seeing it everywhere. So yeah, that's kind of what I do, and basically leveraging the ability to harness a small community and nurture that, and then monetize it with high and low ticket products as well. So that's kind of where I've cut my teeth over the last few years, at least, anyway.
Nice, nice. So, what did you get the golden record for? Everybody's got to know what's the 2 Comic Club Award for.
Man, that was feels like a lifetime ago. The internet moves so fast, But that happened in 2021. We got that for a program called the Super Affiliate Accelerator. It's where I teamed up with a very good friend of mine and mentor, Jacob Karras, and also another gentleman, Chris Donnelly. And so kicked that off in 2019. We saw a gap in the marketplace with high ticket affiliate marketing in the format that it was being done, and it was very it felt like there was levels of complexity to it. It was sort of like, need complex funnels, and then you need to get your automations and your email marketing, all that type of stuff. And so we were trying to alleviate that concern for people. And then it just, I guess, off the back of specifically Jacob's brand, things really just took off. And within 14 months, we'd secured that, which was awesome. And yeah, been a wild ride, as I'm sure you can appreciate.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So affiliate stuff is so good and it's so popping right now. Any form of collaboration or leveraging other people's work is something that's popular with the rising ad costs. But what do you do now? What have you pivoted to? What's your main focus?
Yeah, so I'm still involved in the affiliate world. Like I said, I sort of cut my teeth as an affiliate 2011. Just took me a very long time to kind of figure the game out. And nowadays, what I do is I help both high ticket affiliates and coaches, like I say, with the community-based approach. And I think having done a fair chunk of stuff these days over a lot of different modalities, shall we say, I still feel like that was one of the most efficient ways to start acquiring high ticket clients in particular. So yeah, I just
Yep.
absolutely love it. And that goes into two different things. I've got a couple of different programs and stuff like that, and one more for coaches, one for high ticket affiliates as well, which I still help folks with every week as well, which is really cool. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm up to these days. Plus a little bit of consulting work. I do a bit of B2B stuff. I think perhaps similar to yourself, you probably find like after a while you've been doing this stuff, you realize how transferable your skills are. And so I've also been able to help businesses and even people on LinkedIn with just monetizing their audience, things like that as well. So that's sort of
Nice.
multifaceted these days.
Okay. But still in the affiliate world, still in that realm.
Yeah, still in the organic space predominantly. Yeah, just showing folks how to nurture folks in their profile or in their group and things like that, and yeah, how to
Okay.
monetize their audiences.
Yeah, so let's talk about different types of affiliates because when I think of affiliates, I think of a couple different kinds. I think
Sure.
of super affiliates who are business owners. They'll run ads, they'll do all kinds of crazy things like as a KBB, Knowledge Business
Yeah.
Blueprint that Tony and Dean did. And then they had
Yeah.
all these owners, business owners that are like high level coaches promoting them. But then there's just run of the mill affiliates, just regular folks, just 9 to 5 folks. Or which one do you focus on?
Yeah, good question. So I'd love to say I'm up in the realms of the KDB stuff, but I'm not quite at that level. But yeah, basically what I effectively do is like I say, show folks how to grow an audience and monetize it usually with digital products. So whether that is high, low, or recurring products, I have done quite a bit of physical products as well through Amazon, ShareASale, a couple of different networks. And what I found is that the margins are just really thin. And so if you've got a physical product, you've got to contend with shipping costs, distribution, warehouses, all that type of stuff, and plus delivery, etc. And so what it means is that typically, like for Amazon, for example, you're only getting about 2% commission. That may have changed. It's been a couple of years since I've looked into that realm, to be honest. But if I feel like if I'm doing all this work and I'm selling something, I'm only getting 2% commission, then it's not really it's not a great return. Didn't need a lot of volume, a lot of traffic coming through. And so the way that I do things is really looking to show folks how to harness and monetize a small audience. And I guess my logic with that is I don't have a big audience. I've got maybe, I don't know, total like 20,000 across all the socials and whatnot. And that's, fed me pretty well for quite a number of years. And it's quite remarkable because I see people with significantly larger audiences who haven't been able to have those same results. And I think, okay, well, I feel like it's more beneficial to learn how to sell and how to market from a small basis to then be able
Yeah,
to once
I
you grow,
agree.
like
You don't
then you're
need
getting
a
big
whole
bucks.
bunch of leads. You don't need this massive list and flood of leads coming in, especially if you have quality. If you have a small growing list and it's
Yeah,
consistently growing, it doesn't need to be exploding, and it's just quality people coming through. Like as long as you
yeah,
have a good closer, you should be able to close those.
yeah, 100%. And I think the thing as well is like if you cut your teeth learning how to do that on a small scale, and then you happen to grow your audience, whether it be through paid media or JVs or whatever the situation is, then you're not going to be wasting your leads, basically, put it that way. You're going to be able to harness that and then grow a significantly impactful business. And that's kind of where I'd love to teach. So it's kind of what I moved into.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so how do you find affiliates? What's because that's a burning question that everybody has. These sound good, but how do I find them and how do I get people to agree to sell my thing?
Yeah, yeah, good question. So if you're a program owner, look, it can be a little bit tricky to be perfectly honest, because depending on how you build your business and I guess who you're trying to attract, and I guess for context as well, like I historically have mainly worked with like very beginners. And so, which is the hardest realm as well, I might add, because if you're going from 0 to 1, usually that's where the biggest mindset blockages come in, and trying to work through those in order to get people to sort of feel comfortable about selling and stuff like that can be a little bit tricky at times. And so, plus also, constant promotions and motivating folks to stick with things long enough, all that type of stuff. In terms of if you're an existing business owner and you're wanting to jump into the affiliate world, it's really about networking with folks, to be honest. And I think, especially if you know other marketers who perhaps are already an affiliate themselves, or perhaps they already have an existing audience, and very similar to what you do yourself, Kyle, like just looking for synergies within different communities and different people that you connect with online. And I think in doing so, it reminds me of sort of like the whole influencer marketing style of business model, where because the consumer has that relationship with the influencer, they are more likely to buy based on their recommendations. I think the same thing happens when you have a relationship with your audience and you're like, hey, I've just connected with this dude, Kyle, he's awesome. You guys should check out his stuff. And then, people end up going, et cetera, et cetera. I think it's more about the networking aspect if you're an existing business owner type stuff. So yeah, that's normally what I'd
Okay.
suggest, is just find some folks to hang out with, basically. Network from there.
Yeah. So this could be small to medium sized businesses, or it could be people that all they do is affiliates, or
Yeah,
all they do is affiliate offers.
yeah, exactly. With the folks that only do affiliate offers, it can be a little bit harder to break into, and there's all sorts of things with that. They have like little reciprocal relationships, and so therefore it's hard to kind of crack that mold, so to speak. But it's not insurmountable. It is just a networking thing, and I guess it's one of those things where it's basically folks work really well on the law of reciprocity. It's like if you give something of value first, they're more likely to repay the favor, so to speak. And so if you're
Yeah.
looking to, hey guys, can I promote? Is there anything you got I can promote? Like, what about something that is in a maybe a non-competing program, for example? It's like you might have, say, for example, I don't know, you might have a traffic academy or something like that, YouTube ads, and then like, oh well, I'm a master of Facebook ads. Can we get together somehow and figure something out? Like doing those types of things is probably where the best bang for your buck is going to be, I think, in terms
I
of
agree.
finding affiliates at
Yes.
least anyway.
Yes, it's so powerful. It's doing joint ventures, cross promotions, whether that's a post swap, an interview swap, a masterclass swap or
Yeah,
joining an offer together. You guys build a funnel together and you have some kind of joint offer out there that lives evergreen. Like there's so many levels that you can go deeper with this.
yeah,
So talk on
yeah.
that a little bit and like how does this relationship evolve with these affiliates?
Yeah, good question. And something that sort of just sprung to mind there is I was just thinking that there's entire brands that are built out of nothing more than just interviewing other marketers. And perhaps, sorry, maybe you're one of them, I'm not sure, but like there
Yeah,
is, for example, what's this?
like all of our traffic is, and
Right, okay.
we do like quality leads as many as we need, just interviews. That's it. No paid ads.
Yeah. Which is an incredible business model, right? Because it means that also, actually, so there's another side benefit, which is basically you don't always have to create the content yourself because it's like it's a joint thing, right? But there's other
Yeah.
brands out there like what's his name? John Lee Dumas, for example. You know, his
Yep.
whole business model was that same sort of process. There's a guy called, and I haven't seen him for a little while, but this is testing my memory. But Mike from Maine was another one who just did a bunch of interviews for other marketers, things like that. And so that's kind of another thing that could definitely help folks out as well. And it's that thing where you're leveraging your audiences, leveraging other folks' audiences as well. So
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's great and it's a lot of fun too, just being able to sit down, get to know people, hear different stories. So there's so many powerful things with it. But how do people start to network? Like where are the places to network in person, so offline and online? How do they start to build that network?
yeah, good question. It's one of those things where here's an interesting story for you. It's an energy thing, and if you've been online in the online marketing space for 5, 10 seconds, that's all it takes. You're probably going to get bombarded with people like, "Hey, how's it going? Have you heard of crypto before?" And there's nothing, I'm not
Yeah.
saying anything good or bad about crypto. It's just
Oh yeah, I
sometimes
know what you're talking about. Yeah.
the approach from folks, or some attractive person approaches you, things like that, and it's like the thing is that our barrier is up these days because like with the advent of AI, we don't know who we're chatting to, all these faceless brands, things like that. And I think the real human connection is something that I don't think is going to go away anytime soon. And so I think for me, like I say, it's an energy thing. And a really prime example is one of my now best friends who used to be my mentor, is still my mentor, but best mate. He was kicking butt online, and I just like would see him around. I'm like, oh, man, this is he's doing some good stuff. He happened to land in my town one day, and I just saw him on the socials, and I was like, oh, what do you got to lose? Hey man, would love to network. Can I grab you a coffee? I actually asked for a beer, but he probably didn't want to have a beer with some random dude he just met. So we grabbed a coffee, and the rest is history. Ended up doing that together, and it's just one of those things. And we reflected on it later because he gets approached a lot, and I was like, well, what was it about the way that I communicated? He's like, well, you weren't needing anything. You weren't saying, I want to pick your brain. It wasn't like you were going to take something. You just say, I want a network, which was the truth. Actually didn't want to I thought maybe I could add value to him as well because I'd had a bunch of experience in terms of running Facebook ads, all sorts of stuff. So I just want a network, interestingly enough, without an agenda on the other side of it. And that then sparked a friendship, yada, yada, yada. And so, but I've been also had other similar things where I've approached some marketers and just like, cool, hey, love your work, like you're kicking butt. And there's no agenda. It's not like I'm going to go, oh, hopefully I'm going to get this, be able to sell them some stuff. But if that transpires like that, cool. But I mean, it's more about building a relationship. And it's just sometimes you just got to put your big boy pants on and just not be afraid to just network, get out there a little bit. And you never know where things can go. That's the thing. And even if nothing transpires, here's the other thing as well, is that let's say hypothetically, you and I somehow approach each other like, hey man, see you around, done some cool stuff, like likewise. And then nothing transpires because of whatever, right? It doesn't matter. But then because there hasn't been a negative interaction, it's not like we would go, oh, that Kyle guy, it's more like, oh yeah, no, I met him a couple of times online, it seems all right. And then eventually maybe we see each other's content, and then eventually it leads to this thing where, oh no, yeah, actually I do know this guy who does communities. Oh, actually I do know this guy is really badass at doing collaborations and stuff, come to think of it. And you never know where that's going to lead, and that's the thing, right? So big key elements are just have a detached energy. Don't be too needy. Just the same with sales, right? Like don't be too needy, have a detached energy, and just don't be afraid to just get out there. And you never know where things are going to go. One other
Yeah.
thing I'll say on that one as well is you also mentioned offline, just covering that. A little bit trickier for me. I'm in Melbourne, Australia at the moment. I'm from New Zealand originally, but actually looking to head back this year. But a little bit harder for me to get to events, right? But if you can find yourself flying and getting to these events that are obviously all the time, there's different events on. That's just an incredible way to mingle and network and stuff like that. And yeah, you never know what type of contacts are going to come out of those things as well. So highly recommend that as well.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the warming, the time to warm somebody is so much shorter when you meet them in person. You
Yeah,
know, that
yeah.
relationship, it happens so much faster. So yeah, I definitely agree with that. But where do people go next? How can they dive deeper with you if they're really digging this and like, yes, this is the way, and they want to follow you more?
Sure, man. So probably easiest way is heading over to either jamiegardiner.com. Otherwise, my group high, I've just changed the domain. This is embarrassing. High ticket ultimatehighticketgroup.com. I literally just changed the domain in the last couple of weeks. So ultimatehighticketgroup.com, and I can lead you through to my Facebook group and come and hang out and say
Nice.
good day and all that type of stuff as well. So that's where you can find me.
Perfect. All right. Comment below, guys. Comment below to support the interview and push it out to more people. And I will make sure that you get in contact with Jamie. But thanks so much for being here, man. I appreciate it.
No
Thank
worries.
you,
Thanks so
guys.
much, Carl. Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.